Cruefest 2, an amazing rock shows. We look forward to it, man. What a huge lineup it is this year. Here with, I'm calling them the co-headliners, man. I'm here with Sully from Godsmack. Dude, it's been a great time. I'm looking forward to the show. Thank you for stopping by today.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Looking forward to it.
The last time we spoke is when you guys played Concord, when you guys were on tour with Zombie and Shinedown, and you hooked us up with the Godsmack Bus Bash, and Fox listeners were just blown away by that access. So first of all, man, thank you for hooking us up so much, bro.
Yeah, we're actually thinking about bringing that back next year. It was such a good promotion, and we have a pretty cool lineup we're already starting to discuss bringing out at the beginning of the year on a new festival. So it should be interesting, and we are definitely entertaining the thought of bringing back out a promotional bus to pick fans up in and let them have their own bus for the day. So it worked out good.
That's just unbelievably hookup. And you know what? Congratulations on the new track. Whiskey Hangover is fantastic.
Thank you.
Now I know that the whole album isn't completed yet, but I've got to just think this has got to be a sneak preview of what's going to be coming next in early parts of 2010.
Yeah, we've been working on the record since the beginning of the year. We're continuing to work on it while we're out here on tour. And Whiskey was really just a quick one-off that came out of nowhere. Cruefest wanted to make sure every band on the tour had a working single that was current. And hell, I don't know, at this rate it looks like it might even be #1 next week, man. It's booming. So we could be here as a co-headlining band, maybe with the #1 single in America.
Not a bad deal right there. Well, tell me a little about the process of writing and recording what is going to be this upcoming new release, because you guys have taken somewhat of a hiatus over the last 12 to 18 months. Was it a little bit rusty getting back in the studio with the guys, or was it just like old school?
Well, we haven't been in the studio yet per se, but we've been just writing and recording pre-production stuff. And no, it's not. Actually, it was really great to be back with the guys because we all detached for a couple of years and did our own thing. And I've been really focused on my solo record that's coming out at the beginning of the year. So it felt kind of good to get back into a room and play with loud, distorted guitars again, because the stuff that I was doing on my own was very, very different from a rock record. So it's all been going really well so far, but we're still at very early stages. So we'll just keep plugging away and hopefully get a new record out by the first quarter in 10.
I did want to ask you a little bit about your solo project. Definitely, you've stated more than once before, a departure from Godsmack, a definitely different kind of avenue. What are some of your influences outside of hard rock that you wanted to write and record a complete solo CD that isn't a Godsmack record?
Well, geez, just about all my influences are outside of hard rock. I mean, when I listen to music on my own, it's very rare that I actually listen to rock music. And I grew up listening to so many different kinds of bands, a lot of rock bands growing up, especially. But as I got older and became more of a musician, I started to really be influenced by some of the older stuff. Like I love Ray Charles, love Dead Can Dance, love a band called Vaz. There's a lot of different kinds of, jazz, sometimes classical that I listen to. It's just, it depends on the mood that I'm in, whatever draws me to that music that day. But the solo record really was very much a departure, and I think people will hear that when they get the record, that it's not a rock record at all. But it's a very cool record because it's very eclectic. It's very hypnotic. It's primitive. It's very tribal. We used all hand drumming, and it's an interesting album. There's some great piano compositions on there and stuff like that, but it's definitely not like a rock record. I don't want people thinking that I left Godsmack and went and grabbed a few other members and made another rock record, because I could do that with Godsmack. So it was important for me to make sure I detached from that sound.
And speaking of the sound, because you are a very accomplished guitar player and drummer and harmonica player because of the track Shinedown, which we love, but as a piano player too, are you going to be playing pretty much all the instruments on the solo CD, or did you bring in some session players to help you with some of the dynamics of the new CD?
No, I did all the piano work myself. I've been playing piano for a long time. I just obviously have no room for it in Godsmack because it's not that kind of a band. I did all the piano. I did most of the hand drumming with one of the members from Dead Can Dance, Niall Gregory. I'm featuring this girl named Lisa Geyer on the record, who's this phenomenal female blues singer. Although on this record, she's kind of singing a bit more world music-ish. But yeah, no, I brought in some other really amazing musicians for guitar and keyboards, and there's live orchestration on there with cellos and things like that. So yeah, it's a really, really cool record. I think people will enjoy it for what it is. it's just important for them to know that they're not going out to buy another like heavy Godsmack vibe record.
Right. We're sitting here backstage talking to Sully, frontman from Godsmack, talking about the upcoming new solo CD from Sully, and of course the full studio release from Godsmack, and getting ready for these guys to tear up the main stage here at Cruefest. And Sully, in your spare time, I know you don't have much of it, but you're a pretty accomplished poker player. Which is harder, man? Bluffing a bad hand or keeping it on the down low when you've got a good hand?
Keeping it on the down low when I have a good hand. I can bluff way better than I can hide my emotions when I really have a big hand. Because I try to go into this like, yeah, I don't care, Mo. And then they're like, yeah, they throw away their cards real quick. I'm like, yeah, damn it. So yeah, but it's fun, you know. Poker's become one of those things that it's just a really great escape for me when I need to get away from, you know, the career and the band and the hectic ways of touring and all that stuff. Just sit in a poker room with a bunch of degenerate gamblers and, you know, and not think about like work and all that. It's really cool for me.
Do you remember maybe one of your worst beats that you ever had? Like maybe you had pocket aces and you just got crushed?
Dude, I have it tattooed on my back. I swear to God, I have a tattoo on my back with 4 aces going up in flames that says no justice. Because I had pocket aces and the flop came up ace, ace, queen with 2 spades. So I had flopped quad aces. And me and this one guy get into it. He ended up pushing me all in by the turn card. I went, and this was at a live cash table at the Bellagio. There was maybe $7,000 in the pot. Oh. And he had pocket kings. And anyways, the turn and the river came, the 10 of spades and the jack of spades, which gave him a royal flush. And he beat me with quad aces.
That's unbearable.
Sick. Sickest thing. I was nauseous for a month. I didn't even play cards for like 3 months after that.
So you got a tattoo instead?
I did. I got right up from the table, went there, and I got tattooed for 8.5 hours.
Oh wow, that's just phenomenal, man. Love hearing about the crazy poker. Well, you've done pretty well, man. You've played some pretty big games and cashed in some pretty big cash. So there's definitely I think a love in there for your poker ability.
Oh, without a doubt. I love the game. I hate it. I love it. It's all good. It's like a relationship.
Well, thanks for hanging out with us a little bit, man. I really appreciate your time today, and best of luck on the rest of the tour with Cruefest, dude.
Oh, yeah. No problem. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
This is the latest from Godsmack. This is Whiskey Hangover on 101.7 The Fox.